The difference between Mummu and Ba'al. Before we begin, it is essential to understand that animate stimuli are remembered better than inanimate stimuli. Mu and Ba reveal the difference between the two. I believe this is vital information when attempting to understand what happened to the Sumerian culture. Initially, the ancient Sumerians did not practice witchcraft, but the nobility did. The people were not allowed to read or write. It was the priest kings who published scripture. The word was later passed down to the people via incantations and magic spells. It must have been the Asipu who aided them in doing so. The prefixes Mu and Ba are in many ways diametrically opposed. Counterparts of one another that represent events at the antipodes of the spectrum. Mu is orientated toward the initiator and actor roles of the event. Ba is end point and undergoer focused, meaning pass through, meaning experience, be exposed to, be subject to. The characterization of Mu is control, volition, the ability to effect an action, and the conceptual distinction between participants. The prefix Ba, in contrast, is intimately associated with lack of control, non-volition, subject affectedness, and a minimal degree of elaboration between participants or events. Whereas Mu revolves around the interrelated categories of agency and animacy, Ba takes patiency and inanimacy as its axis. The difference here would be like sitting down reading a book rather than speaking to the author. The book needs to be interpreted. The difference between oral history and the written word. Mu has multiple meanings. The word Mummu is usually translated as tumult, chaos, or confusion. But from the same root, we get from or mold. And because Mu is animate, relating to the word, I suggest that this animate is oral history, molding the spoken word, the life and breath of our vital spirit, which passed down the basic needs for human survival. If I could settle the matter quite simply, I would say Mummu Tiamat is the old oral history, and Ba is the inanimacy of the written word. The word inanimacy is expressing how sentient or alive the referent of a noun is, but the term means showing no signs of life, lifeless. It must be referring to the written word. Due to misinterpreting the context, the word can and has caused confusion. In the previous video, we have seen that the written word, which was considered divine, was used by the Asipu to document and attribute a disease to a particular god. Asipu used incantations and apotropaic rituals, combined with the written word and witchcraft. These elements are inanimate. They replace activity with inactivity. The difference here is taking action, rather than sitting, waiting, and wishing. They reformed practical magic, changing it into impractical magic, entwining the animate with the inanimate, merging Mu with Ba, causing chaos and confusion. Remember, animate stimuli are better remembered than inanimate stimuli. Mixing the two would cause confusion, a great tumult, causing division of the people, resulting in revolution and war. The written word is not prominent. In 3200 BC, the word becomes evident in and around the rule of Enmerkar and Lugalbanda, 2900 BC. The written word is a kind of magic that can manipulate a person into going against their own good reason. The Philosopher's Stone is a perfect example. We can now also see clearly that Baru has a negative connotation. Baru means an inactive or inanimate bird, which can mean be subject to the bird. All good stories end where they begin. Animate stimuli are better remembered than inanimate stimuli. You can learn more from an author than you could reading his book. Ancient mystery is oral history.